Luigi Mangeone, a 26-year-old grad, shot United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside the New York Hilton Midtown. But why? Turns out, Luigi had been battling spondylolisthesis, a painful spinal condition, and underwent spinal fusion surgery in July 2023. The surgery left him in debt and still in pain. For Luigi, the healthcare system wasn't just failing him, it was robbing him blind. In his manifesto found later, he called healthcare executives parasites and claimed his actions were necessary. It was a calculated attack. Luigi, using a 3D printed ghost gun with a silencer, approached Thompson and shot him in broad daylight before disappearing. The nation went on high alert as the manhunt stretched across 5 days. Then came the twist. Luigi was found, of all places, in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. A fast food worker spots a guy who looks like the one from those news alerts. They quietly call 911. Minutes later, Luigi is surrounded by police. He had the gun, fake ID, and his angry manifesto on him.
The Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangeone. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan.
Now, here's where the story gets complicated. The McDonald's worker, hailed as a hero by some, but vilified by others who saw Luigi as a hero taking a stand against a broken healthcare system. That worker, eligible for a $60,000 reward, faced backlash online, with some calling them a snitch. As Luigi sits in a Brooklyn jail, awaiting trial in January 2025, public opinion remains split. With Luigi Mangeone's shocking act fresh in mind, let's delve into other shocking cases where CEOs faced brutal and unexpected fates. Stories that are just as haunting and unforgettable. John Sheridan, 2014. A quiet morning shattered by the discovery of John Sheridan, CEO of Cooper Health System, and his wife Joyce, dead in their New Jersey home. The house was engulfed in flames, but the fire was just the beginning of a troubling mystery. Authorities initially ruled it a murder-suicide, claiming John had killed Joyce, set the house ablaze, and taken his own life. But the evidence told a different story. Both had multiple stab wounds, and the fire was clearly intentional. The family was adamant. This wasn't a murder-suicide, it was a double homicide. The inconsistencies in the investigation were glaring. The injuries didn't match the police's narrative, and no clear motive for John's alleged actions was ever found. Despite the family's pleas for a reinvestigation, the case remains unresolved, leaving a cloud of suspicion and heartbreak. Moving from mysterious circumstances to a targeted assassination, we now examine the death of Alfred Herrhausen. November 30th, 1989, Frankfurt, Germany. Alfred Herrhausen, chairman of Deutsche Bank, was a financial visionary. Known for his bold reforms and advocacy for debt relief in developing countries, Herrhausen was a rare figure, a banker with a conscience. But his progressive ideas made him a target. That morning, as Herrhausen's armored car followed its usual route, a sophisticated roadside bomb detonated. It was no ordinary explosion. The device, triggered by a sensor, was designed with chilling precision to penetrate the car's defenses. Herrhausen was killed instantly. The attack was claimed by the Red Army faction RAF, a far-left militant group opposed to Herrhausen's policies. We turn to a case of familial betrayal and greed, the murder of Ben Novack Jr., 2009. This case is packed with thrilling layers. Let me know if you'd like me to create a detailed video about it. Ben Novack Jr., heir to the Fontainebleau Hotel fortune, was found brutally murdered in a Rye Brook, New York hotel suite. Ben had it all: a lavish lifestyle, a successful business managing travel and conventions, and the Fontainebleau legacy behind him. But behind the glitz was a personal life full of tension. And lurking in the shadows was his wife, Nasi Novack, who saw her husband's fortune slipping through her fingers. Fearing divorce and the possibility of being cut out of his will, Nasi, along with her brother Cristobal Veliz, devised a heinous plot. The investigation peeled back the layers of Nazi's dark web of manipulation. Testimonies exposed years of controlling behavior, prior threats, and even suspicions surrounding the death of Ben's mother. This wasn't just murder. It was the cold, calculated destruction of a man by those he trusted most. In 2012, justice arrived. Nazi and Cristobal were convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Sid Agrawal, 2008. It was November 14, 2008, a seemingly regular day in Silicon Valley until it wasn't. Sid Agrawal, the brilliant CEO of SiPort Inc., was known for pushing the boundaries of digital audio technology. His leadership was shaping the future, but that morning, his life and legacy were cut short in a moment of sheer horror. A recently fired employee, consumed by rage and a sense of injustice, stormed the SiPort office in Santa Clara, armed and dangerous. Fueled by bitterness, the man made his way straight to Agrawal, unleashing a deadly attack. Sid Agrawal and 2 other employees were shot and killed on the spot, their lives taken in a brutal act of workplace revenge. The assailant was quickly arrested, convicted of first-degree murder, and sentenced to life in prison. From workplace violence to organized crime, the next story takes us to El Salvador. Federico Bloch, 2004. Federico Bloch, the mastermind behind Grupo Taca's meteoric rise, was kidnapped in broad daylight. Let that sink in. A man who had revolutionized aviation in the region, boldly taken from the streets of El Salvador as if his success painted a target on his back. The kidnappers, knowing exactly who they had, demanded a hefty ransom. And just like that, the clock started ticking. For days, his family lived in a nightmare of negotiations and false hope. But the criminals had other plans. Before any deal could be reached, Bloch's lifeless body was found, a devastating end to a life filled with promise and progress. How could someone so vital, so pivotal, be lost so senselessly? Investigators linked the act to local gangs, but justice, it never came. The next case takes us to a random act of violence during an international event. Todd Bachman, 2008. Beijing was alive with Olympic energy. Todd Bachman, CEO of Bachman's Inc., was enjoying the sights with his wife and daughter. The family, known for their warmth and community spirit, was visiting the famous drum tower. But what should have been a day of wonder turned into horror. Out of nowhere, a man armed with a knife attacked the Bachman family. It was unprovoked, shocking, and utterly senseless. Todd was fatally stabbed, his wife critically injured, and his daughter narrowly escaped further harm. The attacker, acting out of deep personal grievances, took his own life moments after the attack. Chinese authorities acted swiftly, addressing security lapses and supporting the grieving family. What do you think about these cases? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more in-depth analyses of the stories shaping our world. Until next time, stay safe and informed.